Good afternoon, everyone. This is Quincy with It Factor. Today, we are talking about the daily news and what you need to know. After waking up earlier and watching CNBC for a while, there seems to be not all too much different from what we knew yesterday about the markets and about the world, which is good. Some days it seems like not all too much changes, but others seem like the sky is falling, like the last week when we saw how quickly Kabul fell in Afghanistan. And it's just like, dang, everything's moving so quickly. But yeah, this is one of those days where not too much happened. So anyways, I was wondering also earlier whether this pod should be scripted or unscripted. And I realized that it's better to be scripted because it sounds more professional. Bring it straight to you. Also, I hope you like the set behind me. But throwing in a little bit of ad lib stuff here and there, just like I'm doing right now, makes it kind of like a combination of both. So I like this going forward. It's a little more preparation, but it leads to a better product. Anyways, today is Wednesday, August 18th. The weather today, as you might have been able to tell already, is pretty shitty. There's rain, there's thunderstorms. It's just a mucky day outside. So I hope you got something to do inside and that you didn't have any plans. And hopefully later in the week will be better, but it's looking like it might just be a continuation of this storm. So I mentioned earlier I was watching CNBC, trying to just keep up with the news. And it led to my stock recommendation for today, which is Target, or otherwise known as Target. It just came out with the earnings this morning, and it beat expectations. But it's funny because the stock was down earlier 3%. Now I think it's at down 1%, even though it beat expectations. Sure, Target has been up 80% in 2021 in the last 9 months, up 80%. But I think that there's still good upside to the stock, and a lot of people do too. They're getting good traffic in their stores. Their online sales are really good. They handled the pandemic well with their delivery services and pickup services, as you might have seen in a store near you. I know at the one near me, they converted a space into primarily pickup and preparation area. So they've been doing a good job handling the pandemic, and just all around the business looks good for Target. So stock wise, maybe you could buy it, get a quick flip, otherwise hold long term. But regardless, check it out because this morning, again, earnings came out, and you might want to see the difference between them hitting good numbers and why the stock fell a little bit and what the future outlook is for that. So that was my stock pick for the day. My quick news story today is about electric vehicles, or EVs, in the United States. So there was a decent amount of funding recently in the budget bill that came out of Capitol Hill, and it gave American automakers more support in their efforts to both make electric cars and the charging stations that go with it. But with both of those things, more support in promoting to the public why it's a good idea to get an electric vehicle, why the charging networks are capable, and making consumers ready to make that kind of leap towards an EV, right, in America. So anyways, there was a big announcement from the US, and it was just plain crazy to me how the standard big three in America, which is Ford, General Motors, GM, and Chrysler, were around President Biden at a speech talking about EVs, had their new trucks or new cars, right? And the fact that Tesla, who really made this whole movement happen in the US, right, like made it progress as it did towards this EV future, more sustainable future, wasn't invited. And now they're getting even more regulatory scrutiny over their self-driving unit nonetheless. But anyways, there's questions being asked about their supercharger network. They said that they would open up, but it's just like, it's funny to me how they're not getting the credit that they deserve. And, it's not going to hold down Elon Musk, but it's crazy to me that the government seems to be in this space, the electric vehicle and sustainable space. They seem to be picking winners and losers in the markets, as opposed to what they should be doing, which is maybe supporting the industry as a whole with maybe EV tax credits or just general industry support rather than favoring certain companies over another. And when Tesla has done way more in terms of progressing us towards the future and innovation, right, than the old dinosaurs over there, towards a sustainable future, then I think that leaving them out and antagonizing them is pretty counterproductive. So that's an ongoing story. Obviously, that this is not the newest news, like that happened a few months ago, but it's not going to be the latest news either. It's an ongoing story about adoption of EVs, production, and where that industry is going in the US. So lastly, I hope you enjoyed those two. Stock picks, Tojay, and then electric vehicle talk. I'll leave you with a quote and then I'll sign off for today. This one is from Albert Camus, one of my favorite philosophers, and just a dope dude that you should Google and maybe read about. The quote goes, "Don't walk behind me, I may not lead. Do not walk in front of me, I may not follow. Just walk beside me and be my friend." So I like that one because it's just like, a lot of times it's like, oh, am I taking the point? Who am I listening to here? And at the end of the day, we're all just trying to figure out what we're doing. We got people around us, and maybe in one instance, like I can take the lead. In another situation where you're more suited, you can take the lead, but it's not really the question. It's more, are you by my side? Are we going together? Are we, making a good resolution out of all this? So I like that quote in the way that it gets to the point pretty quickly and just a good message. So anyways, I'll begin here. Thank you very much as always for listening to this pod. I have a 2-day streak going. This is number 9 in the daily series that I'm trying to keep up. So hopefully I can keep that true to its name and entirely scripted at that for the most part. So it takes longer. And as I said, it's more of a process, but it's also more rewarding to make a better product for you guys doing this video series here too. More to come in terms of making this better, but continue to listen. Thank you for watching, and peace, guys. Make it a great day.